Is the hobby dying? Here's my annual response video. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So every year, literally this is my third straight year doing a response video to the hobby is dying claims. And John Mangini actually started this one, interestingly, which you wouldn't expect John Mangini to start this, but he's not saying the hobby's dying. He's just saying that the economy may be seeing some rough patches ahead and could be currently, and that will have a big impact to the hobby. But every year, literally at this time of the year, every year, end of November, beginning of December, I have reacted to these videos, and I figure now's a good time to do it again. So here we go. 2 years ago, December 1st, 2023, here's what I said about this very thing.
But it's interesting. And so when I think about, did the hobby die or is it dying? I think the answer is a clear and resounding no.
And here is a year ago, right at this time, like end of November. Here's what I said.
First of all, there's a lull. There's a fall lull. As you're approaching Christmas and people are saving up money for gifts for family and friends and things like that happen in the fall. Baseball's done and basketball season's barely gotten going. I think that there's just this natural lull to the hobby at this point in time.
It feels pretty accurate for then, and it feels pretty accurate for now. I don't see really any difference now than there was then. We're seeing that lull, the little bit of a downturn in the card economy. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I saw a post on Twitter about the sneaker market collapsing. And everybody's saying, oh yeah, the sneaker market's absolute trash right now and it's dead and it's never coming back. So I Googled sneaker market crash, and there has been one of these every single year. And I don't know anything about the sneaker market, so don't come into my comments and tell me I'm an idiot. Well, I mean, I know I am, but not for that reason. It's possible that the sneaker market has been slowly collapsing, and there are just articles about it every year right around the same time. Maybe. I'm not sure. But the card market is going to be fine long term, just like the stock market is long term. And if you're in this for the long term, you're fine. Is it possible that there is a downturn? Is it possible that the economy has a downturn? Of course, the economy always has recessions. There's always going to be a recession somewhere down the line. That shouldn't be a surprise. If you are concerned about the card market collapsing, you should consign your cards to CIA. Collector Investor Auctions has sponsored my annual "The Card Market is Collapsing" video. They are the most trusted auction house in the industry. I use them, and I was paid. I consigned 9 cards. I was paid the day after the auction ended. I also bought 2 cards, and I received them within a week. It is amazing. They're also very, very tough on shill bidders. CIA, collectorinvestorauctions.com. Consider using them to consign your cards. But again, the card market is not collapsing. I don't think it will either. Is it possible that some people who got into it just for money end up leaving the hobby? Yeah, that's every year is a very strong possibility. Do I anticipate some YouTubers leaving? Probably not any of the little YouTubers, not of the collector YouTubers, but I can definitely see some people who got into this just for money leaving the hobby, leaving YouTube, who thought that they could just jump in, create a YouTube channel that talks about profiting from the hobby, finding that it's much, much harder. Yeah, especially if the economy ends up in a recession. That is always going to happen. Do I think that Jeff Wilson, Sports Card Investor, is going to shut down? No. No. Do I think, will I stick around? Yeah. I can't imagine going anywhere. I'm in the middle of building this dream office here. And if the economy turns down a little bit, I have already reduced how much I'm spending on cards, focusing on Red Sox refractors. So if there's a little less money coming in from YouTube, that's okay too. I love collecting, but I also love YouTube. I love doing this as a side hobby, a side hustle, I guess. It's fun. I really enjoy it. I enjoy interacting with all of you, most of you. And I love putting my collection together. And I sit here. I'm on calls all day long for work during the work week, and I just look up at my cards. I love it. It's uh, I can't wait until I have some time this winter to cover my walls with other stuff. I don't think people like Mike Baseball Collector, John Mangini, Greg of Midlife Cards, Dan of Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, Jake of Wax Pack Wisdom, I don't think those guys are leaving the hobby. I don't think a little bit of a downturn, I don't think if the hobby sees a downturn, a lot of people leave the hobby, I don't think those guys are going to leave too. Those are hardcore collectors. And I'm not going to say true collectors. I try to avoid. I've done that in the past. I've learned my lesson. Hardcore collectors, collectors at heart, people who have been doing it for decades, I don't see them leaving. Uh, I don't think the hobby is ever going to die. It's just not killable. And I'd be curious to know what makes people think that it's going to die. Even if we have a massive economic downturn, the hobby has survived them in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, 2000 and surprise 2020. In fact, in 2020 it got stronger. And that makes me wonder, with all the gambling in the hobby, is it possible that as if the economy goes through a downturn, could the hobby get stronger, at least in terms of wax ripping, if not singles selling? So, what I mean by that is, could people who don't have any money chase big hits thinking that it'll be their lottery ticket and their way out of their financial troubles, rip a lot of wax, jump into a lot of breaks, and then the singles market explodes with singles and nobody's buying singles and the singles market collapses? I could definitely see that. That's not what I'm rooting for, although I will benefit from it because I'm a singles buyer. But I don't want to see any good businesses go out of business just because of an economic downturn. The hobby will adapt. The hobby is resilient. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in comments about this. It's an interesting time for sure. And I will continue telling stories. I'll continue doing my clearing the bases. I think that's going to go on forever. Sports Card Clubhouse will continue, as far as I know. There are 3 of us in charge of that. By the way, we have some really fun announcements coming out on Sports Card Clubhouse really soon. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I know Greg is too, and Adam. Big interview tomorrow on Sports Card Clubhouse, by the way. Really excited for that. It'll be fun. I hope. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the hobby collapsing or dying. It's just one of those annual things that we talk about. All right. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. I will see you tomorrow for clearing the bases.